Hello everyone, let's start with the video. So in this video I'll be explaining sugar limit problem, and it was asked in starter 196 in codechef. So chef bought and different snacks, now needs to decide which one to eat. So the ice snack has tastiness of AFI and contains BFI units of sugar. Note that AI can be 0 or even negative, meaning the tastiness can be negative, 0 or positive as well. So chef wants to limit his sugar intake, so he will choose some non-negative integer L, which is basically limit, and then he can only eat a snack if it has at most L units of sugar, that is B of I, which is basically the units of sugar the snack contains is lesser than equals to L, then he will eat that snack. So know that he does not need to eat every snack that satisfies BFI lesser than equals to it. So let's say any snacks which satisfies the condition its sugar content is lesser than equals to it, L, so he may not even choose to eat, that it is saying. He can decide to skip some of them too. So don't worry, I'll be explaining on the code. So I'm just reading the question. Let S denote the sum of tastiness values of all the snacks chef decides to eat. Okay. S is basically sum of tastiness that chef decides to eat. Okay. It's not the whole the bought snacks. He have bought a bunch of snacks and snacks basically, but S is basically the ones he wants to eat. And eating condition is that its sugar content should be less than or equals to L. So after choosing the value of L, so chef satisfaction then equals S minus L. That is chef satisfaction is the sum of tastiness values of everything he eats minus the tested value. Basically, chef satisfaction is S minus L. What is S? S is basically the number of snacks what he have eaten. So it's yeah, tastiness basically A of I, and L is basically the limit, sugar limit that he wants to cut off. What is chef's maximum possible satisfaction if he chooses the value of L and the snack he eats? So okay, we need to find the maximum possible satisfaction, and L also they have not given. We need to find L, I mean we'll have to fix L and find the maximum possible satisfaction. So yeah, they're saying first line of input will contain T denoting number of test cases. Don't worry guys, I'll explain it on the board. In T, say in T while T minus 1. This will take care of all the test cases. For every test case, we will call on function solve. Its return type is void and does not have any parameter. So the first line of each test case contain n, the number of snacks. Okay, n is basically number of snacks we are taking in. We'll have to define two vector, a of n, a which is whose size is n, and b whose size is n. And a defines, what does a defines? A defines tastiness. So the second line contains space separated integers a1 a2 up to 1 an. So yeah, that we'll have to take one by one a of I value. In the same way, the third line will contain n separated integers b1 b2 bn, the sugar quantities, I less than n, I plus plus. I'll be explaining you, don't worry. B of I. So yeah, the inputs we have taken it. Now we'll try to understand the example. So they have given three test cases, and in the first test case, 2 n values 2, which is basically two snacks, different snacks chef is bringing, and its tastiness is 4 and its sugar level is 2, and second snack's tastiness is -1 and sugar level is 4. So yeah, let me take you in the board. So chef has bought two snacks. This is basically array A, which defines tastiness, and this is basically array B, which defines sugar content, we can say. Now in the question what they will ask is, we'll have to first fix L in such a way that this is the maximum sugar level. So let's say we fix sugar level as 2, L is equal to 2. So in that case, chef can eat only this snacks. If he eats this snacks, then S will be whatever snacks he have eaten, its testiness, which is 4 here. Okay, let's say chef has eaten both. So in that case, testiness will be 4 minus 1, which is 3. So for now, we'll have to check like sugar level we have put is as 2, but here it is 4. So that's why we are not eating this one, right? Because the content what he'll be eating, the snacks what he'll be eating, whose sugar content should be lesser than equals to L, which is given in the question it as B of I lesser than equals to L. Okay, so now satisfaction, this we'll have to find in the problem, which we'll have to find the maximum satisfaction. So this is basically S minus L that they are saying. S is 4, L is 2, so 2 is the satisfaction. So if you try out all the combinations, so 2 will be the maximum answer. Let me once verify. Yeah, 2 is the answer. So how do we solve this problem? What we'll try to do is, we will, since the constant in the question given is L ranges from, where is it? Did they give L value? Okay, L value they have not given, but L is basically the sugar level content, right? So we can take B of I. So its L value we can take from 0 to 100. Okay, so B of I is basically the testiness, right? I mean sugar content, right? So we are taking the threshold value, I mean some L, such that doing these things will get the maximum satisfaction. So B of I is ranging from 1 to 100. So we can start with 0 L. I mean L will range from 0 to 100. Why I am taking 0? Because in some of the cases, in one of the case they've given, if you take this one 8 and 9. So in this case, if you try to choose testiness as 0, so in that case, they again, if testiness is 0, so in that case our answer is 0. Like in one of the case, this is testiness and this is sugar level. If you take L as 0, so our answer will be, since L is 0, so he will not be eating anything, so S will be 0 and L is also 0, right? So satisfaction will be S minus L, 0 minus 0, which is 0. If you try to take any value, let's say 1 or 2 or 3 or something like that, so S minus L will give you minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. And if you see, they have asked us to find the maximum satisfaction, so 0 is max among minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. That's why we'll start from minus 0 to 100. Why 100? Because maximum sugar content the snacks can contain is 100, not more than that. So for all L, since this is very small, L is very small, so we'll choose L from 0 to 100 and we'll check for every value. Okay, so first thing first, what we'll have to check is, we'll have to take one for loop where L will be running from 0 to 100. Now once we have fixed the L, so we'll take one some value, which is basically the snacks what we are eating. It will be initialized with 0, since it defines we have not eaten anything. Now one I pointer, this will be running from 0 to n minus 1. N minus 1 is basically the snacks. So now in order to eat any snacks, one condition is that first we'll have to check if B of I, which means sugar content of that, should be lesser than or equals to L. Okay, if that condition is met, and what we will do is A of I is greater than 0. Why I am taking A of greater than 0? Because in the sum, if A of I is lesser than 0, So sum will obviously decrease, right? So we want to maximize the satisfaction is given as s minus l. So in order to maximize this whole thing, either we'll have to minimize this l or we'll have to maximize this s. So in order to maximize this s, so whatever testiness value is the s is basically the summation of testiness. So whatever negative value is there, will have that will not be taking. Okay, so once these two conditions satisfies, we will be adding in sum this a of I value. Okay, so once we come out of this for loop, so yeah, once we come out of this for loop, what we'll be doing is we will be checking uh, s sum minus l. So our maximum satisfaction, for satisfaction I'll be writing as sat, that will be first will be initialize sat as 0. So that will be max of sat comma, this is sum, which is basically the a of I values minus l will do. At the end we'll have to output this sat. I think you guys got to know how to solve this. I'm having a bit problem, that's why I'm not fully explaining uh, properly. uh, okay, so what I was telling you is that we'll have to take first answer, which is basically satisfaction will take, which will be initialized to 0. We'll run a loop, l will be from 0 to 100, l plus plus. Okay, we will take s, let's don't take summation, let's take s only because in the question they've given s. So we'll take s, and I'll be running from I to 0 to n, because this is the snacks number of different snacks that chef would have bought. So first thing first, we'll have to check is that if b of I lesser than equals to l and a of I greater than 0, snacks tastiness is greater than 0. So in that case, in s we'll be adding this a of I. Basically some people are outside, that's why I'm not explaining fully, so I'll try to somehow avoid them from next videos. So once we found all this l, now satisfaction will be a max of satisfaction comma s minus l as are given in the question. So once we come out of this loop, we'll have to output this satisfaction. Let's try to run the code. So 2.14.0, let's try to submit the code. Yeah, it got accepted. So in this way you could have solved the problem. So if you have any doubt, you guys can comment me and I'll try to explain you in the comment. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video.